So it's Friday, the 8th of March. Just wanted to give a quick update because I'm planning on making more videos and trying to push this into the mainstream, which is where it should be anyway. But obviously there's a huge effort now in Waterford. You have certain groups linked in with Waterford City Council in an effort to cover up the corruption within Waterford City Council now, following me around. Numerous kind of contractors and fucking people who lay carpet in Waterford and electricians, and like a lot of them have links to like certain politicians that I've been talking about. And actually, I mean, you think about it, I've been speaking about John Halligan, ex-mayor, ex-minister in Waterford, and like, God forbid you speak the fucking truth. You know what I mean? This is a person who gained the most votes in Waterford, right? So you can imagine the influence and the contacts this person has. And the second person to only do that recently over the last few years was David Conlan of Sinn Féin. Now the two of these I've been speaking about have a relationship, a very friendly relationship, where they both support each other. I just put it that way, regarding various issues going on in Waterford. Yeah, so basically I've been made a social fucking pariah, if I'm being honest with you. Like, this was done a long time ago, and it kinda had a bit of an effect, I suppose, years ago. Now it doesn't really have the same effect. And it was to be expected, to be honest with you, because this was never going to be easy, realistically. And it was always going to be long term. I just wanted to update quickly that I got a response from Helen McEntee, Minister of Justice. Now I'm going to upload the fucking email that she sent me and my response in a day or two. One or two things I have to deal with first. She basically fobbed me off, basically saying that she didn't have the remit to get engaged in an investigation, that I was told all this before, and like I won't be getting any kind of response from her again. Now, this is a person who, remember, in 2022 pushed for easier access for the kind of legal aid, civil legal aid. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking for assistance for fucking civil legal aid to bring a case against the state. She's gone on about implying that fucking that I'm looking for her to get involved in an investigation. I'm not. Go back to all my emails. You can see I'm not asking her to get involved in an investigation. I'm asking the Minister of Justice to assist providing legal assistance so I can take a case in front of a judge. I have my own fucking like entourage going around with me now, if I'm being honest with you. And they're trying to make me look paranoid or trying to fucking come across like I'm unhinged and any of this kind of stuff. I'm not. I'm sick to death of saying this, but the fact that these people have to behave in this manner alone, like, what does that tell you? And they'll all say, oh, this is to do with all this pornography that was like associated with me, which was also spread around. As soon as I started talking about this shit like came out of fucking nowhere in 2015, spread around by me ex's fucking hair clients. And what happened is they spread it everywhere. But none of these people can report that. They're supposed to be moral fucking crusaders following me around. There's not one of them at the reporting any of the stuff. Why haven't you reported any of the stuff? Do you know what I mean? And they'll say, oh, because it was done illegally and fucking we have to kind of cover the people who done it, and like, that's all bullshit. Do you know what I mean? And you will never know that that's bullshit until you actually go and report it. And if you don't want to get involved by giving your name, that's fair enough, but you can report all this stuff anonymously. And you can say that's connected to me and it needs to be investigated, and like, that's fair enough. And I'm open to any investigation whatsoever. I've said this from the beginning. But you have these clowns now around Waterford who basically voted in John Halligan, remember? And they voted in David Conlan. So think of how large this crowd is. Were able to gain that many votes. Do you know what I mean? So they're basically making me a social pariah in an effort to kind of shut down all of this. But I'm prepared now for this, and it's going to be pretty difficult. It's not going to be any more difficult than it already fucking is, let's be honest about it. But yeah, I'm going to upload over the next few days an email I got of Helen McEntee, basically, or her secretary, should I say. And people can read it for themselves. And if you want to go back through the emails I've been sending her, I've never asked her to get involved in an investigation. You know what I mean? If you go back, you send the emails. She's answering one thing. I'm asking one thing. She's answering another thing. But like, nobody wants to kind of let the cat out of the bag. Do you know what I mean? I was in contact there with a couple of journalists over the last few weeks there, and kind of 3 of them just ignored me out of nowhere. One answered me to say that he didn't have the time to kind of commit to this, and another one kind of same thing again. He was actually going on leave. Not going to get into the details, but he basically told me that that I'd need a barrister to take this through the courts, which I already knew anyway, if I'm being honest with you. Like, but and this was me point to kind of like contacting kind of the Minister of Justice because I thought the Minister of Justice would have more of a kind of emphasis on kind of weeding out corruption within the system. Yeah, but over the next kind of like next week or two, then now I'm going to start putting up all this story on YouTube. If you want to look at it, you can look at it. If you don't, you'll be encouraging Waterford not to look at it, because like the whole kind of campaign within Waterford they're basically trying to make me look like a fucking paedophile, if I'm being honest with you. And like, people don't want to talk about it, like they want to talk about it behind your back, do you know what I mean? They don't want to report it and shit. They don't want to question like how this was got. There's all this kind of list of pornography shit that was spread around, and all three people, this was done 3 times, all three people that done it had contact with me ex before it was done. And I'm going to get to all of this, and I'll explain all this, and you see how serious this is, do you know what I mean? But look what I've alleged in my previous videos, and look what I've claimed. Why is none of this not looked into? Why am I not being held for defamation or slander? Like, where's the fucking proceedings? Do you know what I mean? It's about to get a whole lot fucking messier, and like, this shit has hit the fan, and anyone outside of Waterford won't really know kind of how crazy this is in Waterford. It's fucking unbelievable. A social media thing online where they monitor me fucking movements as soon as I go out the door or when I come in the door, and I can't really go into it too much because someone confided something in me and I don't want to fucking break their confidence. But yeah, but this was spoken about. I spoke about this with a psychologist who's employed by Waterford fucking Tussle, who's still employed, and I spoke around the last video, and Carrie. It doesn't take a genius to work out that it's all psychological based, do you know what I mean? I've called this woman out. I've said she's corrupt, like bring a defamation case against me. Do you know what I mean? She breached protocol multiple times. Do you know what I mean? She should not be employed by fucking Tussle. She should not be employed by our healthcare system. But this is the same fucking government who protects the likes of what they're protecting. Let's be honest about it. And I'm using that term kind of loosely there. For now, I have to kind of reel in what I'm saying, being honest with you, because I don't want to jeopardise 1 or 2 cases going on in Waterford, if I'm being honest with you. But I will. This is what the panic really is. Remember, I've been speaking about reading out certain emails and messages. Well, that's potentially coming closer and closer and closer. And the shit is going to hit the fan. So from next week onwards now, I'll speak to my wife on camera about this. And when you hear how crazy this shit is, people will understand then why this needs to be shut down and why I've been labelled a fucking paedophile, fucking mentally unwell, paranoid, fucking a drug user. I used to be a drug user, not anymore. Fucking, do you know what I mean? I don't know, the list could go on at this stage. Because I'm deemed to be rocking the boat on those kind of corrupt gatekeepers in Waterford by speaking the truth. And especially Waterford Council, they don't want me talking about Roisin Doherty and Leo Kennedy, who I keep mentioning got caught searching my mother's bedroom, and this was covered up by Joe Daniels. This is 100% fact. There's documentation. I can show the documentation. They won't take the fucking documentation off me, do you know what I mean? Because they know what I'm offering. So, as I said in my last video, I think anyway, this is about to get a whole lot fucking messier, I'd imagine. And for those who are driving around fucking, like, it's nice to be able to leave your job actually, by the way, and follow someone around fucking, follow a family around fucking Waterford, do you know what I mean? So you can get your contracts from the corrupt fucking members of Waterford City Council, you know what I mean? And the cronies of certain fucking politicians in Waterford, do you know what I mean? Am I going to be shot now for fucking speaking the fucking truth now, is it? Like 20 odd years ago, you're still playing up on that fucking shooting, fool. It's long overdue. Someone called this shit out in Waterford, if I'm being honest with you. And like, unfortunately, it's going to be a high cost to fucking pay for me, if I'm being honest with you. And so I'll leave it there. I'll upload the email from Miss McEntee over the next few days. And then I'll start uploading this whole crazy story onto YouTube. And I'll put up the links and I'll put up the videos. And I'm not asking people to fucking sympathise fucking with anything from me or anything. Just hear me out. Hear what I have to say. Do you know what I mean? And you'll understand pretty quick why they don't want you hearing what I have to say, basically. Yeah, so I'll leave it there anyway, and my videos are going to be a lot more frequent anyway, and more hard hitting. And I'm open to any kind of defamation, any kind of slander, any kind of criminal proceedings. Bring them against me. I would like a chance to defend myself in a courtroom, but you don't want me defending myself in a courtroom for obvious reasons. So I'll leave it there, and I'll be back in touch. Thanks. Something then as well that I wanted to say there. You have a girl that had to stand in a courtroom surrounded by all fucking sorts and all kinds. Do you know what I mean? While a certain person, the accused, is hidden away from sight so no one can see him. Like being held accountable in a fucking courtroom. Disgraceful. Do you know what I mean? And this is the kind of shit that's normalised in Waterford. So I don't know. Yeah, leave it there. Thanks, bye.